open-minded situation against foreigners and people who are coming to us, and to, in all the differences, to live together. That is the main thing. And I think it is not a question of membership in a socialist party or a conservative party or so. That is a question of feeling and of your heart. And if you are able to look to the human rights, then it can't be a question in a lot of items, what is the result, what are the answers. But unfortunately, the people, they don't learn in the last decades. I think we have a roll back sometimes, and that is dangerous.
Please. Okay.
We are today the Catalan Day. What do you think Catalonia and Spain can learn from your experience?
Yeah. You need what you can learn is, the first thing is that it is worth to work on a peaceful creation. And what we saw, I'm not the expert for all the conflicts about 100 years ago and so on, and between Catalonia and the rest of Spain, or Spain and Catalonia. But from outside view, it is such a tragedy, because Catalonia is such a wonderful area. And Spain, I have my favorite cities in Spain, yeah, but there are so many places where it's worth to live there or to go there, and if there's no compromise, what will be the result when you have a better situation there? I was in Barcelona, I saw all the flags and whatever, and yeah, you have to find answers. And that is the duty for the representatives, and maybe that they have in Berlin the chance to discuss about it and with the different opinions about the questions.
Ambassador Popdarova, I think you had your hand.
Thank you, Mark. Elena Popdarova from Bulgaria. Mr. Mayor, Berlin is indeed a sexy city. It's unique, more than sexy. It's just unique, and I've had the privilege of coming here at different times, which also gave me an opportunity to follow the process of both reunification and reintegration. I would argue that these are two different kind of processes, and reunification is somehow easier than reintegration. Since you are a politician of a national stature, my question would also bear kind of a broader implication. A lot has been done, and congratulations on all your personal contribution. And yet, how should I say, the gluing between East and West Berlin, though extremely advanced, is not yet complete, and that can easily, although delicately, be traced down. It is even more complicated when you translate this, when you put it on the European level. And you will understand why I'm making this argument coming from the country I come from. I would often joke bitterly that East Germany and East Berlin were lucky to have West Berlin and West Germany. In our case, we have our very dear friends from Macedonia and former Yugoslavia. So there is a difference in the process of reuniting and reintegrating Europe. So, given your experience, which happened in the best of conditions here in Berlin and in Germany, what's your take on Europe, the already decades long efforts of integration? What would you have to say on the idea of multiple speeds, two-speed or more speed Europe? That can threaten, that can put to risk the European project. So is it possible to somehow use the symbolism and the practical experience of the city of Berlin and the whole of Germany to improve the process of integration in Europe?
Yeah. I think it's not easy to answer because the situation is quite different. We had no alternative. We are all Germans. And so the transformation process from a former communist system to a capitalist system, that was a hard thing, especially for the people in East Germany. And a lot of them, they lost their jobs, they had not the opportunity to make the study and so on, and therefore you can understand when, if they are angry about the situation and they are saying, oh, in former times it was all better and it was a communist system, but it was not all bad, it was the education system was better, the kindergartens and whatever. So that is sometimes the mentality. In Berlin you had no alternative. That was the only place in Germany where East and West came together at the first moment. We had one government. We had a parliamentarian from East Germany in 1990 and from West Berlin. Yeah, so and they have to work together. In my political group, it was 50-50. It was the half was from East and the half from West. And the Social Democrats were in Berlin. The party for whole Berlin. You had the Green Party, they were concentrated in the West. The Christian Democratic Party was also concentrated in the West. And the former Communist Party, the PDS, today the left-wing party, they had by the elections in 2001 about 47% in the former eastern part of the city. So, and then my Western people said nothing to do with them. That are all old communists. And that was a risk for me personally because I needed the votes by the former PDS. And that was very, very unpopular in West Berlin. And then we want to create a red-green coalition, and it was not able because we had no majority after the elections. And therefore, we tried to do with the Liberals and a three-party coalition that don't work. And then we create a coalition red-red. That was a scandal. That not my sentence, I'm gay and that is okay, was a scandal. That was a scandal too, but was a small scandal. The scandal here for me and for the situation in Berlin was that the Social Democratic Party worked together with the former Communist Party. So, and that was, so after 10 years of government, you can hear also by conservative people that was a good government. So it changed, but at that time it was horrible. So to transform it to the European process, we have the integration with the euro, we have the integration with the laws, with the taxes and whatever, how the banana will be in this way or in this way. So that is that's now a problem because the people say, what is the administration in Brussels? Why they have decided about our little problems here in Berlin or in Dublin or wherever. So, and we don't need a full integration. Integration, yeah, but you have in Europe of regions, I think. And that's important that you have your own identification as a national state. And you can see the conflicts. The actual conflict is the Brexit. And Theresa May, what can she do? Yeah, so we are looking forward to the next decision in the parliament, but how she can form a majority, I can't believe it. So, and Brussels don't help them and the other countries of Europe. So we will see what is the result. It's a hard work, and the European elections next year is for everyone up in Luxembourg or in Italy or in Germany. It's not so easy to fight for united Europe. And we need a united Europe, and we have to remember that it was not so normal in Europe that we had such a long period of absence of war. That's not so long ago. Yeah. So, and I'm a fighter for Europe, but it's not so easy.
Okay, so please, if you could also stand so we can hear you.
My name is Yorgos Konstantinou. I'm Thessaloniki, Balkan, Catalan, Berliner.
That is a good combination. Yeah.
Just normal. I wanted to just say that sometimes there is those phrases which are said, sound very nice, but actually don't really meet the truth. Like one of them is that the Berlin Wall, that the wall fell in Berlin. It's true, but the wall was just moved to the frontier, the external frontier of the European Union. There is still a big wall. We cannot celebrate being a liberal democracy surrounded by this huge wall. In Greece, in Bulgaria, in Spain, we're surrounded by walls. So there is a need to come over just those good sounding, beautiful sounding phrases. And one of these other phrases, to go back to this Catalan Spanish question, is that Franco's regime was defeated. It was never. Franco just died. And you know from Berlin that to get over a page of history, you must learn it, you must read it first. In Spain, there was just, the page was just turned, and there was no judgment against fascist crimes. There was no judgment about this corrupted system. There were so many things which were never done. But this celebration of democracy, which is definitely there, is it cannot be complete without this very basic point. Don't you think that Berlin could teach, and Germany could teach a lesson, or could show an experience to a country that never actually went forward in condemning what meant this fascist Frankist, and especially for Germany being a country that actually at that time helped this Franco regime arise? Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think that Germany is the right teacher for that problem, because I can remember what we have done after the Second World War. Where was the history and what the people feel about it? They want to look forward. They don't want to look back. And the justice, the same problems in every dictatorship. After end of the dictatorship, how you can organize the whole society another way, and what can you do? And okay, the top of the parties, and then you can arrest them and bring to court. But what is with the millions of people who supported the dictatorship, and what can you do with them? And that is a process, and you cannot say from one day to the other, now you are in a democratic system and you have learned it by your feeling, and you are a democrat in your whole body, and that is not possible. And therefore I'm a little bit afraid about the situation that we come and teach other nations what they can do. That must be a movement and a change in the national society. That is important. We can help, and Europe can help if you have in some countries of Europe such problems, but the movement must be directly in the country and not from outside.
Additional comment or question? Want to make the most of this special opportunity with Mr. Wowereit? Or?
They are hungry. They have.
Could be. Okay. All right. Well, if not, then maybe on that note, let's maybe first of all express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Klaus Wowereit.